Have you ever felt like your trading was broken? Like no matter what you try, nothing seems to work. You're not alone in that. Today, I'm going to show you the answer from the best trading manual that there is, the Bible. Specifically, Proverbs chapter 21, verse 5. And I promise that if you apply these principles, it will fix your trading forever, just like it did mine. But first, before we can fix your problem, we must first define it. So, why do we think it's not working? I know it probably feels like it's not working and that all you do is lose. Believe me, I speak from experience here. But compared to what? Do we even know what to expect? This leads to the most important question of the day, which is how much research and planning did you do before we started trading this strategy? This is a step that I skipped all those years ago, and it led to a world of misery for me. So let's dive in here. Proverbs 21:5 says, "The plans of the diligent lead surely to plenty, but to those of everyone who is hasty, surely to poverty." So, were you diligent or were you hasty like I was? I love this. The original Hebrew word there, that word for diligent is harutz. And it means not only diligent, but sharp and decisive. I mean, it's even used to reference gold. Does that sound like how you chose your straight trading strategy? And while we're on the subject, did you choose your strategy or did you decide on this strategy? What's the difference here? I learned this from Myron Golden. Decide is a Latin word. It's two words there. It's de and side. De meaning of or from, and side meaning to cut. So when you decide, you're actually cutting yourself off from every other option. Think of Cortez burning his ships when they got here. So were you so convinced that this strategy was the one and it was going to lead your family to financial freedom? And so you cut yourself off from every other strategy out there and purposed in your heart that you were going to follow it? Remember Daniel, back in Daniel 1:8, it says that he purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with the portions of the king's delicacies or the wine he drank. That word purposed there means to establish. It's the same word that God used when he put man in the garden. He established Adam in the garden to keep and tend it. When I first started, this was not what I did. I just picked a strategy, leaving the door open to pick another one later on if the one that I was trying out didn't pan out. So you see the difference there. Daniel decided he's not going to eat the king's food or drink his wine. He cut himself off from even the possibility of doing so. It was water and vegetables for him or nothing. So were you diligent in this process or hasty? The Hebrew word there for hasty is utz. At least I hope I'm pronouncing these words right. If you are Hebrew, by the way, or if you speak Hebrew, let me know in the chats if I'm mangling it. I do apologize. Well, this word utz there, it's used in the Bible the first time when the angels are trying to get Lot to hurry up and leave Sodom because fire and brimstone is coming. So you can only imagine the urgency that this word conveys. So it's like hasty, hurry up. Is that how we picked our strategy? This is how Solomon is using here. Were you like I was, in a hurry to get started trading? Oh my goodness, I would not slow down. Let's go back and look at our verse again. Solomon is contrasting two different types of plans here. The plans of the diligent and the plans of those who are hasty. And both of these plans lead somewhere specific. The plans of the diligent lead to plenty. Actually, they not only lead to plenty, but they lead surely to plenty. It leads only to plenty. Not like, yeah, it'll probably be plenty. No. It can only lead to plenty. Again, the first time these words are used is what's so important. The first time this word surely is used in the Bible, it's talking about Noah and the great flood. And it says that only Noah and his family were saved. So the plans of a diligent can only lead to plenty, the way that Noah and his family were the only humans left on earth. So the other side of this is that the plans of the hasty can lead only to poverty. And notice how there's no middle ground there. There's no mediocre, average. There's no just enough. The plans of the mediocre lead to just enough. It's not in there. There's only more than enough and not enough. So each type of plan has not only an inevitable outcome, but they each have only one outcome. And this is so encouraging to me. This tells me that if you are diligent in your plans, you will have plenty. That word plenty there means abundance. It's a promise from God. So if you were diligent, you would have seen everything that there was to see about this trading strategy. If you picked it, if you decided and were diligent in your research, you would know all the ins and outs of it, when it worked and when it didn't, what kind of return it could realistically give you, and what was unrealistic. And most importantly, what kinds of bumps and bruises you would expect along the way. This brings us back to that main question. How do you know it's not working? It is entirely possible that your trading system is doing exactly what it told you that it would do if only you would listen. Look, I'm not trying to beat you up here. I was the king of hasty trades myself. I didn't do any of this when I first got started. I was in the same mess, going through the same misery, the same discouragement. My trading just wasn't working, not knowing how to fix it. It wasn't until I got so miserable that I was willing to do anything. And I finally made the decision. I made a decision. I cut myself off from the other opportunities. I stopped trading for 3 months. I'm a type A personality. I want to get it done. I'm a go, go, go guy. So stopping and doing nothing hurt. But I was willing to try anything. And in those 3 skill of how to build and test and analyze a trading strategy. I put all of that into a spreadsheet. And then I was diligent to listen to what it was telling me. So what did it tell me? It said that I had a 60% win rate. That means it's telling me I can expect to lose 4 out of every 10 trades. So if that happens, okay, we're going to plan. It tells me it has about a 30% annual return rate. That tells me that if I'm expecting 50%, I'm out of luck, or this is the wrong strategy for me. It told me I could expect to have at least a 7-trade losing streak from time to time. It doesn't say when, but over the course of the test, it says, hey, the max losing streak we had was 7. I don't know when it would happen, but imagine this. Imagine without this information that 7-trade losing streak started at the very beginning. Imagine if I had lost the first 6 trades in a row that I took. Do you think I would have kept trading? I would have probably assumed that my trading system was broken and moved on, when in fact, it was doing exactly what it told me it would do if I just listened. And that the fix for my trading was to just keep trading. So once I had my plan and I began to trade diligently, there was only one outcome that was a result of this. And that promise from God is amazing, and I don't want us to overlook it. If we are diligent, if we are sharp and decisive in all that we do, it can only lead to abundance. The plans of the diligent lead only to plenty. It's the only way it can go. And if we rush it, if we hurry, like the angels saying to Lot, get out. If we're impatient, like I was, it can only lead to losing. So this is the fix that I promised would turn your trading around just like I did mine. Take the time to put your system to the test before you start trading it. Now, if you're already trading it, let's hit the brakes. I know you don't want to, but let's stop, take a breath, and don't do anything else until you diligently, sharply and decisively test it out. Evaluate it like you would evaluate a new car or a new job. Learn everything there is to know about it, and then listen to it. Make your plans. Trust in them and the promise of God. And when it tells you to expect something, expect it and rest on the knowledge that you had gained from it. And then go out and walk the path to abundance in confidence. If you need help learning how to build or test or evaluate, or just need some accountability in sticking to what your plan is telling you, just put a comment down below that says help, and we will send you some free resources that you can use. We are here to help anybody. So, with that, guys, I appreciate you all being here, and I will see you next week.